Joining us now, former National Security Advisor in the first Trump administration, Ambassador John Bolton. So they want a consortium in order to enrich uranium. They're going to sell it. They don't want to give up their nuclear program. They say they need it for civilian use. John, any reason to believe that the Iranians are in a position where they have to tell the truth now about what they need?
Look, this is total hot air from the Iranians. They've been pounded by Israel. Their ballistic missile production facilities were destroyed in October. Their terrorist proxies have been knocked to the floor. They're in deep trouble for a lot of reasons because of domestic opposition. They'd love nothing better than to string the United States out for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months to buy themselves time. There's absolutely no evidence that they've made a strategic decision not to seek nuclear weapons. They've been at it for a long time. We don't know exactly what they have, but it's not going to get any further away from nuclear capabilities. I think this is an ultimatum by Trump. If this is the way he does ultimatums, meaning you agree to start dismantling in a way that we can verify completely, or else, then I wouldn't do it this way, but I'm all right. I'm just worried he's gone down the garden path again, looking for a deal, and it's going to be entirely in Iran's benefit to string it out as long as they can.
At what point do you expect, or would you say Iran is ready for a deal? What would you need to see?
Basically, there's almost nothing that would convince me unless the entire regime resigned and turned Iran's affairs over to a different government. This has been part of their objective for a long time, even to the point where recently there were reports that the famous fatwa that many people said meant Iran would never use nuclear weapons and so wouldn't seek them, apparently was modified to say, well, it's true we don't want to use nuclear weapons, we just want to have them. The whole thing here is an effort to divert Trump's attention and to get him to put pressure on Israel not to do what I think Israel is pretty ready to do, and justifiably so, which is destroy Iran's nuclear weapons program and end this debate once and for all.
So you're saying you think that the only way to come to a deal with Iran is if there is a regime change, either, I guess, as you said, if the entire regime resigns, which I think is unlikely. Are you talking potentially also about a popular uprising there in order to oust the current government? I mean, there have been protests, but that hasn't happened.
Right. I think the regime is incredibly weak inside, and like a lot of seemingly impregnable authoritarian regimes, people will be amazed at how quickly it collapses. That moment has not come yet. It may not until the Ayatollah Khamenei dies. He's only the second supreme leader. They don't have a clear path to a successor. And that's when the regime could come apart at the top. I think if the Israelis destroyed the nuclear program, along with the fall of the Assad regime, the pummeling of the terrorist proxies, would bring the Iranian people even past the finger-pointing that they've been engaged in recently to say, all of this has cost us tens of billions of dollars over the years and brought the Iranian people nothing. We are tired of this.
Why do you think Donald Trump doesn't want to allow Benjamin Netanyahu to do that? I mean, he's sidelined him. He's not visiting Israel. He's going to all the other Arab states, but just passing over Israel.
Right. Well, I've explained my view that they never had as good a relationship as people thought. I think the way we, in effect, concluded a separate peace with the Houthis, saying we wouldn't fire at them if they didn't fire at our ships, leaving Israel and presumably everybody else in the lurch, the way Trump negotiated the release of the last American hostage, not doing it in cooperation with Israel, the way this trip has been set up, the conversations with Iran. I think Trump has left Netanyahu to figure out what he's going to do on his own. And that should not deter the Israelis if they continue to think that the Iranian nuclear threat is existential for Israel, which it is. It's a small country, half a dozen nuclear weapons. There won't be much left. They didn't ask American position in 1981 that when they bombed Saddam Hussein's Osirak reactor, they didn't ask America's position permission in September of 2007 when they bombed an Iranian reactor under construction in the Syrian desert. I don't think they'll ask Donald Trump's permission this time, and frankly, they shouldn't.
All right, Ambassador John Bolton, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.